Hello and welcome to this 4-part series in which we run through how to ride a motorcycle. So if it's something you've always wanted to do, stay tuned in and come along for the ride. Hello ladies and gents, boys and girls, thanks very much for joining in. This is part 3 of the Learning to Ride a Motorcycle for Beginners, and in this video we're going to be looking at how to change gears on the motorcycle. If you haven't already seen parts 1 and 2, please check them out. In part 1 of this series we looked at the basic controls of the bike, and in part 2 we looked at how to get the bike moving off and stop. I would assume by this stage that you're quite happy with where all the basic controls are, and also you're happy with moving off and stopping the bike safely and no longer stalling. If you still find yourself struggling with the clutch control on the bike, then I'd recommend you give that further practice before practicing changing gears. Now, to practice changing gears, you're going to want a wide open space where you can practice going through the gears. I'm actually going to run through this on the road on my way home because I think that's probably the best place to demonstrate full use of all the gears. If you have any questions about this, please do consult your motorcycle instructor who's going to be there to guide you through the process. If you have experience of driving a car already or another geared machine, then obviously that will help you in regards to what gear you need and when. So this video just runs through how to change the gear and the layout of the gearbox. I'm going to start by posting a picture now of the layout of the gearbox. As you can see, first gear is all the way down the bottom. Above that we have neutral, then we have third, fourth, fifth, and if your bike has it, a sixth gear as well. We have to work through the gears in a motorcycle in order. It's not to say we need to engage each gear in order, but with our left foot, with the clutch in, we do need to go 5 or 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, etc. The same moving up the gears as well. So we can skip gears, but we do need to work through them in the gearbox. It's what we call a sequential gearbox. We have to work through it in order. Unlike the car, where we can skip gears and go straight into the gear we wish to engage, we can't do that on the bike. So that's a big difference. So let's get the helmet camera on then, and I'm going to talk through use of the gears on the way home. Okay, so then we're on board the bike now, and as I mentioned, by this stage you should be quite competent with moving off and stopping. Having just looked at the diagram put on the screen, you should be happy with the layout of the gearbox. So we're just going to put that into practice, and I'm just going to talk through what I'm doing. So clutch in, start him up. Okay, stand is down, first gear. Going to check that it's safe for me to leave this area. How did I get in? This way. Okay, so we're in first gear at the moment. Bikes generally like a nice positive gear change. So we're going to build the speed up, then we're going to come all the way off the gas, clutch in, and then lift up that left foot to engage the next gear. So now we're in second, and you can see it tells me I'm in second here. Not all bikes have a gear indicator, so if yours doesn't, don't be too alarmed by that, but this one does. So here we are now, we're coming up to a little junction, so I'm going to pop my indicators on. I'm on my front brake, I've popped my clutch in, and I'm into first gear now. Whilst I'm looking, now we're happy. We're going to come off the gas, clutch in second gear, clutch in third gear. So whenever we change the gear, we're coming off the gas, clutch is going all the way in before we're going for that gear change. If we leave our hand on the gas and then we put the clutch in, have a look what happens. See, the engine revs up. On the brakes here, clutch is going in, working through the gears. Now I'm in gear 1. Left foot's gone down, making that decision, biting point. Second gear now. Mirrors left signal, and then rolling on the gas off the roundabout. Demonstrating the gear here. off the gas, clutch in, third gear, left foot up for third gear. Lovely. And then we're going to go into fourth gear. So again, off gas, clutch in, fourth gear. Lovely. And I'm kind of purposely doing that process a lot slower than what you would normally do. When you get used to it, you're going to be doing that process a lot quicker than what I just demonstrated there. So we're coming up to a roundabout, so I'm going to do my mirrors and my signals off to the right. I'm on the front brake, rear brake, clutch in, left foot down, working through the gears. I'm in gear 2 and I'm going to stay in 2 because we can go clutch back out before the roundabout and then round the roundabout. Lovely stuff. The speed limit's 20 here, so I'm actually going to stay in second gear. It's always useful to have a gear indicator. If you haven't got one on your bike, this one is made by a company called Hilltech and it's an aftermarket one. This model of Kawasaki, the Z1000 SX, doesn't actually have a gear indicator. The new model does, but this one's 6 years old now and it doesn't actually have a gear indicator. So they are very useful. If you don't have a gear indicator, then you can just kind of plan the gears and run through the gears in your head. But it's just nice, which is what I do mostly. Does he see me here? Which is what I do mostly. Okay, so you can hear the engine, sounds like it wants to change gear. Third gear. And I'm going to get myself ready for fourth gear. So going to make sure we're all the way off the gas, clutch in, up a gear on the left foot, and now we're in fourth gear. So at the end of this road then, we're going to be turning left. So we're in fourth gear at the moment. So I'm going to check the mirrors and put the indicator on. I'm on the front and the rear brake. And I'm just with my left foot working down through the gears. So in my head I'm thinking third, second, first. Right, now we're in first. Having a look, and we got to stop because there's lots of vehicles coming, so I'm going to go after this van. So I'm starting to get ready on the bike, and then away we go. Third gear, and fourth gear. And you see, when you get used to it, you're able to change those gears a lot quicker. It is quite a quick process on the bike, you know, it's all very simultaneous. It's just off the gas, clutch in, and then up or down a gear. And bikes are generally happy, especially big engine bikes. I'm going to put myself up into fifth gear now, clutch in, foot up, fifth gear. And that's quite happy. And we can even go clutch in, sixth gear as well. We want to always stay in a responsive gear. So if at this point when you wind the throttle on, the bike's feeling a little bit sluggish, put yourself back down into a gear where when you squeeze on that gas, it's going to be responsive. So coming up to the roundabout then, I'm just going to come on the front brake and I'm just working down through my gears. So 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to let the van go. Now that's going to be 2 and now that's going to be 1. In gear 1, didn't stop. So what we did there is, as we were coming up to the roundabout, we didn't go straight down into 1, because generally speaking we want to be always keeping the bike moving at a roundabout. We don't want to stop unless we have to. So we're coming up to this roundabout now, and I'm in 5th gear at the moment. So we don't just want to go straight down to first, because ultimately the goal is to keep the bike moving. So as we come up to it, we're going to do all the usual mirrors and signals. I'm just reducing the speed. 5, clutch in, 4, 3, yep, happy to go. Clutch back out in 3, and then we're gone. So we only went down enough gears just to keep us moving. If we go all the way down to 1 and then we arrive at the roundabout, we might realise actually we can keep going, and then you're going to have to work up the gears again. So we're only reducing the gear as the speed is being reduced, and that's gonna, how much speed we need to reduce obviously depends on what we can see and whether we can keep moving or not. So coming to a stop here, we're in 4, clutch in, 3, 2, okay, staying in 2, clutch back out, little look both ways, and then building up the speed. And you see there, because we just changed the gears to match the speed, it meant that we didn't go all the way down to 1, and that worked out quite nicely, because as you saw, the lights changed just as we arrived, and that meant that we were able to keep the bike moving. And that's always the goal with a motorcycle. Always aim to keep those wheels moving. It's going to reduce your chances of getting rear-ended by a dozy car driver. So touch your brakes here, clutch going in, 3, just down 1 gear and we can go before this Range Rover. Back up to 3. Gonna stay in 3 for this little roundabout section. A little bit faster road here. 4th. And we can go 5th as well. Off the gas, clutch in, and that's happening very, very quickly. Let's even go 6th. Off the gas, clutch in, foot up. And just like in the car, if you've driven a car, it all ends up working out very, very smoothly and very simultaneously. So on the brakes there, both brake, 6, 5, 4. I'm going to go before this car and then firm squeeze on. And you see the benefits of that. I'm just a bit wary of this black car. I'm just going to hold back a little bit. He's got his left signal on. Just making sure he stays in his own lane. Gear, 6th gear, and now we're in top gear. And I know, local knowledge tells me that at the end of this fast section of road there is a roundabout. So we're coming up to the roundabout, then we're going to be turning right. Going to check the mirrors, put the indicator on. Got some braking going on now. Both brakes, firming it up. 6th gear, clutch in, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm going to go after this Mercedes. Off brake, clutch out, and then we're gone. Lovely. And we timed that arrival really, really nicely, which meant that we were able to keep the bike moving. Because remember, keeping the bike moving is always the end goal. It's always the ultimate goal. We always want to keep that bike moving and only stop if we absolutely have to. So thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope it's been of use to you. If you like the video, please make sure you share it, comment, and of course subscribe. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.